Hey, what's up guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to build a slide-based landing page with Fullpage.js. In the previous videos, we have cloned some landing pages. We have cloned the SpaceX landing page. We have also cloned the Tesla landing page. In case you have missed them, I'll put the link on the description and on the cards. Go ahead and check them out. In this video, we're going to do this slide-based landing page. So let me give you a quick demo of this project that we are going to build today. Now you can try out this project by visiting this link. The link will be on the description. So like I've said, this is a slide-based landing page. So this is a slide, you can say, or you can say a section that is holding a background image with an overlay and a title. The section is taking full width and height of the screen. And if I just scroll down a bit, you can see the next section, which is similar to previous one, snaps to the top immediately. And also you can see there are two buttons on the left and right, the navigation buttons, because we have some horizontal slides that we can navigate. So if I click on the right icon, you can see the next section comes into view with a nice animation, and I can click on it again. It shows me another section, and again it takes me to the first one. And also I don't have to use my mouse every time. I can also use my keyboard. I can go down with my keyboard. I can go left. I can go right. I can go to the top again. I didn't use my mouse. I was using my keyboard. And that is really good. And also you can see on the bottom right hand side, there are some dots. And each of the dots are representing a specific section. And you can see if I hover over each of these dots, a little tooltip is shown, and the tooltip is the name of the album. By the way, all of the titles, the images that you're seeing belongs to a specific album, actually the Taylor Swift album. And if I click one of these dots, you can see that it has taken me to that specific section with a nice smooth scrolling effect. And all of this is achieved with Fullpage.js, which is a JavaScript library. And all of the media files, the source code, can be found on my GitHub repository. So I'll put the repo link on the description. So go ahead and check that out. This is a great project for beginners. You are going to learn a lot from this video. You're going to learn about CSS position, setting up background images. And if you stick till the end, you're going to learn about JavaScript array methods, JavaScript classes. And also you're going to learn a lot about JavaScript DOM manipulation, how to create elements, how to manipulate them, and also insert them into the HTML DOM directly through JavaScript. This project will help you to understand a lot of great concepts. I'm super excited about this project. If you are excited too, just hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss these project-based videos. And by the way, please let me know in the comment section that if you like these project-based videos or if you like any specific topic-based videos, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. And without further ado, let's get started. Let me give you a quick introduction of mine. My name is Anjan. I'm a full stack developer, instructor of this channel, and also I write blog posts on qscoding.space. Feel free to check that out. I can develop simple to complex full stack web application. If you want to see more of my projects, just visit thatanjan.me and then go to projects. You will see the projects that I have worked on. I'm looking for a new opportunity where I can join and provide great value with my skills and knowledge. If you are a recruiter or someone who is looking for a new team member, feel free to contact me. You can contact me through email, LinkedIn, Twitter, or any other social media as thatanjan. All of the links are going to be on the description. Check that out. And also I'm open to talking about freelance work. So if you are a businessman who needs a new website or application, you can contact me and we can work that out. Alright, so enough of my introduction. Let's get straight to the tutorial. Alright guys, so I have this basic HTML file. Inside the directory we have style.css and index.js file. Both of the files are empty and all of them are linked with our HTML file. And here we have a media directory where all of the images will be stored. You can see inside the media directory there are some images, and these are the images specific to our album, and these are some subdirectories, and this subdirectories is for a specific section, those sections that will have multiple slides horizontally. So if I expand one of the directory, there are multiple images, and these images will be used for the horizontal slides. And also we have the icons directory where we have those left and right arrow icons in a PNG format. Okay, so these are the files in our directory. So let's create the sections. So let's write our HTML. So first we need to create a container that will contain all of the section. So section with an ID of full page, and inside this container we have to add other sections which should have a class of section. So section dot section, and inside the section you can add the content like title, overlay, or anything if you want. Now you can add the image as background image directly to this section, but if you want slides, then you can add more element inside the section with a class of slide. If you just put only one slide, there will not be any horizontal navigation, so you can just add a slide here. Let's add an element with slide class, and this slide will hold the background image. Let's also add a title with h1 tag, and let's say title is Taylor Swift. By the way, the title will be the album name. Let's create another section. The second section will have multiple slides, so I will copy this 2 more times. Now to distinguish each section, we have to attach another class. So the first section will have a class of 1, and the second section will have a class of 2. And also for slides, so let's add a class here, 1. Let's add another class here, it will also be 1, then 2, and then 3. And let's change the title to red. And this is what we have for now. Let's style them and add images. So let's go to style.css. Now first let's just reset everything. So padding will be 0, margin will be 0, box sizing will be border box. Let's select the HTML tag, and let's use font size to 62.5%, and this will make 1 rem equals to 10 pixels so that we can work with rems easily. Now let's add the styles really quickly. It won't be much. So first we need to select the slide. It will have a background image, right? But the background image will be different for every single slide, so we will add them separately. So let's add the background size will be cover, and then background repeat will be no repeat. Then background position will be center and top. Center for horizontally and top for vertically. Now let's add images to those slides. So first we need to select the section. So section which has a class of 1. Let's select the slide element which also has the class 1. Let's add background image. So use the URL function, and it is inside media slash TaylorSwift.jpg. Let's copy this, and this time it will be section 2, slide 1, and the image will be fearless 1.jpg. Let's copy them again and paste it 2 more times. This time it will be slide 2, image will be 2.jpg, and this time it will be slide 3, and it will be 3.jpg. So let's save the file, and we still don't see anything. Why? Because the slides doesn't have any height. We don't have to give height to the slides. Fullpage.js will take care of that. So let's set up the Fullpage.js library, And this is the Fullpage.js GitHub repository. I'll put the link on the description. I'm not going to cover everything that is available inside the library. We are going to use CDN to use this library. So let's click on this link and make sure you have the latest version, and just copy the fullpage min.js script tag. Let's go to index.html and paste this right above the script tag. And also we have to copy the CSS link tag. So copy this and paste it inside the head. And now let's open up the index.js file. And now we have access to the full page class. So we need to create a new instance of that class. So new full page. And we have to pass the selector this container which has the ID of full page. So full page. And then as a second argument you can pass some option. We will leave this empty for now. So let's save the file. And here you can see the image. It is taking full height and width. Let's scroll down. You can see the next section immediately snaps to the top, and also it has some right and left arrow. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's white. So if I click on this, you can see the nice sliding effect. It looks really good, right? I can also use my keyboard. I can scroll up with my keyboard. I can scroll down. I can go to the left. I can go to the right. I didn't use my mouse. So it's working. And now we are going to add the black overlay and the title over the top of the section. So let's go to index.html. Actually not index.html, style.css. Now you can add overlay with many methods. I'm going to use the after pseudo selector to do that. So section, not the section tag, section class, and select the after pseudo selector. Make the content empty string. Height will be 100%. Width will also be 100%. Then position will be absolute. Top will be 0. Left will be 0. Then background color would be black. And let's make opacity to 0.6. And we also need to add a z index. It will be 5. Now if you have any confusion with CSS position, I have a video about it on my channel. You can check that out. I'll put the link on the description. But if you are good at CSS position, you might ask a question that if I have given the position absolute, where is the relative position element? The relative position element should be the section, but we don't have to add the relative position to the section because it has been already attached by Fullpage.js. And here you can see the overlay effect. Okay. Now we don't see the title, right? Let's style the title so that it looks like this. I'm using a custom font called Column from Google Font. I'll put the link on the description. So let's style them. First of all, I'm just going to import the font at the top. So this is the column font. And let's select title. Let's give a font size of 12 rem. Then text align to center. Color will be white. Font family will be column cursive. And position will be absolute. We're going to position it to the center of its container. And top will be 50%. Left will be 50%. Transform. Translate. For x-axis it will be 50%. And y-axis it will also be 50%. And let's give it a z index of 10. Width will be 70%. Then text transform will be capitalized, and let's just give it a padding of 2 rem. And here is the title. You can see it's looking pretty good. And another thing that you can see that we cannot navigate to the right or left because the overlay, the black overlay that we have used, has covered the navigation icons. So we need to fix them, and we will also get rid of these icons. We will add our custom arrow icons. So if I just inspect this element, inside the section there is 2 elements. It has the previous element and the next element, and both of the elements also have classes, and we need to use these classes to apply styles. So I will copy this class name and paste it here, and also I will copy this class name. So let's add background image. So background image. Actually, before we add background image, let's just remove this icon. Actually, they are not really icons, they are just borders. So let's get rid of them first. We have to select both of these icons. So I will copy this, and I will also copy this selector. Now you might ask that why am I using 2 selector? I can only select this FP control arrow, but there will be specificity issue, so I need to select both. And you will see I will also have to use the important keyword, which I don't want to use. So we have to give a height of 10 rem, then z index will be higher than our overlay, and it will be 10. Width will be 6 rem, and here I have to use the important keyword. I tried it without important, but it doesn't really work. And we have to get rid of border. It will be none. And let's add the background image. So the next background image will be URL media/icons. It will be a right arrow PNG. I'll copy this, paste it here, and it will be left arrow PNG. And here is the 2 icons, but they're not looking good, so we need to add some more properties. First of all, background repeat will be no repeat. Then background size will be contain. This should fix the icons, and you can see our icons are looking pretty good, and I can click on it to navigate horizontally. Now you can also add a vertical navigation for each of the section. If I click one of these, you can see it takes me to that section. Also, it has a smooth scroll effect, so let's just add that. So first let's go to index.js, and inside the object, the second parameter, we have to pass some options. We have to pass navigation to true, and navigation position will be true. Sorry, not true, right. By default it is left, we want it to be right. Oops, it will be a string. And here is the to navigation. I'm 100% sure you are not seeing this because it has a background color of gray, and also we have the overlays. It's very hard for me to see, so let's fix them with styles. So let's change its background color to white. So let's just first inspect them, and you can see it is just a span tag with no classes, but the library has used this class, this selector actually, this selector to add styles. So we will just copy it, and let's go to style.css, and we will paste it here. And let's add the background color. Use the background color white, and we also have to do important. And you can see the background color has been changed, and we can click on it, and it takes us to the next section, I mean the target section. But you can see it doesn't look good because we have this right arrow and also these dots. It will overlap. So we are going to move them to the bottom right. We need to select this element which has the ID of FP nav and class of FP right. I will copy this selector and let's paste it here. Let's add top to auto, then bottom to rem, also with important. Let's add transform of translate y, and the value will be 0 pixels. And you can see they are at the bottom right, and it's also working. Now if you want to add title like this, when we hover over any kind of dot, you can see it shows the specific title. Now to add that functionality, we need to add some more options. Let's go to the documentation, and we need to use this show active tooltip property, which is by default false. We need to make it true. And also we need to generate the tooltip names, which will be the album names. So I'm just gonna create an array. So const album names, which will be an array. And I'm just gonna paste the album names, and let's add another property. It is where it is navigation tooltips, which will be equals to album names. And you can see that tooltip, and if I click on the next one, and now we see fearless. Now you can also add links to the section, which will take you to another section with smooth scroll. So let me show you. I'll go to index.html. I'll create another section. I will just copy this. I will add a third section, and it will be section 3, and the title would be red. Let's go to style.css. I will copy this line and I will paste it here. Now it is section 1, sorry, not 1, 3. And the background image will be red, and then 1.jpg. And let's scroll down, and here is our third section. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a link to this title, and when I will click on the title, it will take me to the third section. So let's go to index.html, and I will add an anchor tag here with href of 3, and title will be click me. And now let's go to index.js, and we have to add anchors property, which is an array anchors, and here we need to add an array of href that will be attached to every single section, and you have to maintain the order of the section inside the array. So first section will be 1, then 2, then 3, and here is our link. So let's click on it. Cannot get 3. Oops, I think I have made a mistake. It will be not only 3, it will be ID 3. Now let's click on it again, and you can see it has taken me to the section 3 with a smooth scroll. Let me show you again. Let's click on it. See, that was really good, but I'm not gonna add them because it looks horrible. So let's remove that. Now there are a lot of things you can do with Fullpage.js, but I cannot show you all. I would highly recommend you to read the documentation. They also have nice extensions, which is not free, I believe. You can check them out and learn about them. And that's all I really wanted to show you about Fullpage.js and how you can create them. Now, if you just wanted to learn how to add the slide-based sections, then you might end here. But I'm gonna go a little bit further. I'm gonna add more section, more slides, and I will also show you how you can add this section with JavaScript. Now you can see, just to add this 3 section, I have to copy a lot of code. I have to manually separate them by adding classes to each of the section and the slides. I also have to attach background images manually, and that is a lot of work to do. So after some days, if you want to add a new section, you again have to copy paste all of this section, then slides, then you also have to attach classes, also have to attach background images separately. Basically, you have to repeat the whole process again, and that will be too much work. Also, if you just want to attach some more content to the section, then you have to go to all the section one by one and have to modify them. That will be a lot of work. It is not a dry code. Dry means do not repeat yourself. You are going to repeat a lot of code. So that's why I'm going to add this section slides with JavaScript DOM. Basically, I'm just gonna create an array of information about the images, paths, their background positions, and so on. Then I will loop over the data and add HTML elements through JavaScript. If you want to learn how to use JavaScript DOM, then stick till the end because you are going to learn a lot. So I'm just going to delete everything from the HTML. It will only have this full page ID section, and just go to index.js, and we need to create two classes. Now JavaScript class is a way to construct multiple objects with same structure. So we need to add two classes. One will be image class, another one will be an album class. So let's add the image class first. Class image, and let's add constructor, and it will take two parameters. First one will be the source, and second one will be the background position. Now why background position? Because not every image is same. Some image need different background position than others, so we need to add manually to some images. So this .src will be source, and this .bg position will be bg position. Let's create the album class. So constructor, it will take a name as parameter, and this .name, and the name will be the title of the album actually. So then name, and also this will have a method called add images, and the add images method will take two parameters. First one will be the images parameter, and the second one will be the album name. Now this album name is different than this name. This album name will be used. So if I just show you the directory, you can see that inside the media directory there are some subdirectory, and each of the subdirectory have multiple images, but each subdirectory name is an album name, but they are a little bit different than the original album name, so I will keep them separate. Now the images will be an array, so we need to loop over the array. Actually, let me tell you more of the images array. The images array will be an array of arrays. The array will contain sub arrays. So let me show you the structure actually. So images will be an array, and inside the array there will be sub arrays, and every sub array might have two items. First item will be necessary, which will be the source of the image, and the second item will be optional, and that will be the background position, like center or something like that. And we will create multiple sub array inside every single array. Okay, so that's the basic idea. So we will loop over the images array with for each function, for each, and the array will be the images array, and the element will be the image. Now, like I've told you, images will contain sub arrays, so the image here will be actually an array. So I will destructure them here. Now, if you don't know about JavaScript destructuring, I have a video on it on my channel. You can check that out. I'll put the link on the description. So I'm going to pull out the image, which is the first item, and then the background position. So let's create a source variable. So let source. Now I'm going to use a ternary operator, and the ternary operator is simply a one-line if condition. So first we need to check if album is truthy value or not. I mean, if the album is an empty string or not. If album is empty string, then it will be falsy value, else it will be truthy value. So album. So if album is true, with a question mark, we have ended the condition. And if album is true, then our path will be a string. I will use a template string. It will be media slash the album, then slash the image. Else, if album is not given, that means it is not inside the subdirectory. It is directly on the media folder. I know it sounds confusing, but bear with me for a minute. Then another template string. If album is not given, then it will be media slash the image. And now let's create the image object. So const image object, it will be new image. First argument will be source, and the second argument will be background position. But if background position is not given, then it will be undefined. But we don't want to store undefined, we want to store an empty string instead. So if busy position is not true, then we want to store an empty string. And finally, we will push this image object to the images array. So this dot images dot push image object. And also let's just make this let to const, because we are not reassigning it. Oops, it will be image object. So let me just recap the add images from method. It will take two parameters. One will be the images array, which is an array of arrays. Also the album name, which is optional. If we are trying to access a subdirectory, this will be the subdirectory name. And if it's not given, that means our image is inside the media directory, not inside any subdirectory. Then we are looping over the two-dimensional array of images. Then we are getting every single image array, and we are pulling out the image source and the background position from the array. Then we are checking if album is true. I mean, we are checking that if what we are looking for is in the subdirectory or not. If is in the subdirectory, then our path will be media slash the album name, then the image. And if we are not trying to access subdirectory, then the path will be media slash image. And then we are creating an image object. We are passing the source, this variable here, and the background position. If the background position is not given, it is totally optional because we don't have to change background position of every image. So if background position is false, then we are going to store an empty string instead of undefined. And finally, we are pushing the image object to the images array. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, just bear with me. So let's create the albums array. So const albums. And this array will contain multiple instances of the album class. I'm going to create two constructors just for demonstration. I will paste the rest of the code. So let's create the first album, new album, and we have to pass the album name, Taylor Swift, and then call the add images method. I have to return this keyword from the add images method. Return this. So add images. The first argument will be the array of arrays. So array, and now we're going to create the sub arrays. So our first sub arrays, first item will be the source, Taylor Swift.jpg. And we don't need to pass second item, which is the background position, because we don't need to change it. And the second argument of the add images method will be the album name, the subdirectory name, which will be empty because this image is inside the media directory, not any subdirectory. Now let's create another album. So new album. The album name is Fearless. And again, add images. Let's add array. then subarray. Our first subarray will contain 1.jpg, 1.jpg. We don't need to pass second item. So then the second subarray, 2.jpg. And for this image, I have to attach background position, which will be center for horizontally and 80% for vertically. Let's add the third subarray, which is 3.jpg. And we don't need to pass this background position. And let's just console log the albums. Now you might say that that is a lot of work. Well, it kinda yes at first, but with this method you will not repeat yourself. If you want to change some structure, you just have to change from here, and that will do the work for us. Okay, so let's see what the albums array is. Cannot read properties of undefined, reading push. Line number 34. 34. So this dot images dot push. Oops, I didn't add any images array, so this dot images will be an array by default. Now we should not have any error. Okay, so ignore this warning. These are coming from Fullpage.js. And here you can see we have an array of album, and the first album, it has a name of Taylor Swift, then it has an images, which is also an array. Inside the array, we have the object image, which has a background position, empty, and then we have the source. Okay, so that's what our album array is. I hope it sounds clear to you right now. I hope it is clear to you right now. Now I'm just going to paste rest of the data inside the albums array. Okay, so I pasted all of the data that is needed for our albums. Now we can create the section and slide element for DOM manipulation. So let's loop over the albums array. So albums dot for each, and it will take album as the first parameter. Actually, we haven't really selected the full page container, so let's quickly get that. So const full page element will be document dot get element by id, and the id name is full page. And let's create a section, const section. We will use a function called create section, which I haven't implemented yet, but it will take a parameter, and which will be the album. And after we created the section, we're going to add that, we're going to append that inside the full page element as child. So full page element dot append child, and just pass the section. And let's just implement the create section method or function, whatever you say. So const create section, and like I've told you, it will take an album parameter. So let's create an element with section tag. So const section will be document dot create element, create element. It will be a section, and also we're going to add a class called section to the section tag dot class list section. And then we need to create slides. So const slides will be a function create slides, which I haven't implemented yet. And we need to pass the images inside the album. So album dot images, and then we will loop over the slides and append every slide to the section. So slides dot for each, so slide section dot append child, and it will be slide. Let's create the title. Const title would be document dot create element. Create element, and the tag name will be h1, and we need to attach a class to the title. This should be class list dot add, and this will be a section string, and I will copy this line, and it will be title dot class list, and the string will be title, and the text will be the album name. So title dot inner text will be album dot name, and then we are going to append the title to the section. So section dot append child, and it will be title, and finally just return the section. Now let's implement the create slides method. So const create slides, it will take a parameter called images, and it will return an array. We're going to loop over the images using the map method, and we know that map method return us an array. So images dot map. By the way, I'm using arrow function, so I don't have to use curly braces. I can just simply write it like this, and it will be returned as an array. So map, then image as the first argument. So let's first create a slide. I will copy this line, and it will be slide, and the tag name will be div. Then again, I have to attach a class, and it will be slide, and the class name will also be slide. And now we are going to attach a background image. So slide dot style dot background image. You don't put a dash, you use camel case instead. So background image will be a template string URL. In here we need to pass image dot src, because image is the object, and inside the image we have the source property. And then we have to attach the background position. So slide dot style dot background where it is position, and it will be image dot bg position. And finally we have to return the slide, and this map method will create an array of slide, and we will just return it from create slides method. So our code is kind of messy right now, so let's format this. Okay, so I have formatted the code with prettier. If you want to learn how to set up ESLint and prettier, I have a video on it on my channel. You can check that out. I'll put the link on the description. And I guess it's almost done. So let's see what we have. Alright, so you can see the sections with image. Let's scroll down. And here is our second section. We can also scroll to the right and also to the left. We can navigate through keyboard. I'm not using my mouse anymore. I'm using my keyboard. You can see it's really working. And now if you want to add a new section, you just need to go to the albums array and create a new instance of album, and you will be done. Another thing that I did inefficiently, which is where it is. Oh, here. So this is the album names array. I hard coded it. So what I can do is I can loop over the albums, and I can get the album's name from the albums array. So I will delete this code. So let's create another array. Const album names. So let's loop over the albums dot map. Now the albums has a property. The album has a property called name. We just need to return the name from the map function. where it is here. So just get the album and return album.name. So let's see if it works or not. And you can see the tooltip. If I scroll down, you can see it's really working. And if I hover over them, we can also see the right tooltip. Okay, so everything is working fine. Actually, I have found a bug here. That is, the names are not capitalized. So let's inspect this tooltip. Okay, so this is the tooltip. Let's attach the text transform property to capitalize. Okay, so it's working. So I will copy this selector. And I will copy the declaration. And this should fix the problem. And you can see that the tooltip is now capitalized. And that's really working. Alright guys, so our project is done. If the video has been helpful for you, don't forget to like this video and share this video to your friends. In the next video, we're going to do the Hulu clone with vanilla HTML, CSS and JavaScript. If you want to try this web page, you can try this by visiting this link. I will put the link on the description, so go ahead and check that out. And if you are interested about this project, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you get notified as soon as I upload the video. And if you have any question about today's project, just put them on the comment section. And also, if you have any kind of suggestion or feedback, please do let me know. You can contact me through LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram as thatanjon. And by the way, if you have liked this project, you might also like this project. In that video, I have shown how to add beautiful video background to your landing page. So go ahead, check that out and enjoy.